It is indeed a pleasure to have this privilege to play here for you. We intend to give you a very fine program, so just settle back, relax, and enjoy the moment.
Hello. Good morning. I don't have any headphones on. And I'm like, Jared, I'm scared to put my headphones in. How y'all like the new music? New intro music. Had to remix it because we're on YouTube right now. We're on YouTube, and I had a little copyrighted, music in my original intro. So we had to mix it up. I want to say thank you so much to my producer, my in-house producer, Jared, and also for the theme music. I want to say thank you so much, John. John from, what is it? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this right, John. I'm sorry. It was late. I was reading the book. John, let me see. I want to say John Shields. Let me get this right. Little Stranger. Shout out to John from Little Stranger. I'm super grateful. Super. Yeah. John Shields, Little Stranger. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. The OG had to look at her phone. But thank you so much for the intro music. I'm super excited. I'm nervous too because we're streaming supposedly across YouTube and Facebook and Twitch right now. So I'm kind of like, ugh. So we'll see. I'm going to go to Facebook. Y'all know how I feel about Facebook. Let's see if it's going on there. I got to see this. I don't know. Oh my God. Maybe I should just go on the desktop so you all can see and stop playing around. Oh my God. Let me see. Oh, it's there. Oh my God, it's there. And it's captions. Oh, it's so accessible. I'm super excited. Oh, and it says live in my... Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so we're just going to keep... Hey, D. D, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. This is great. Okay, so anyway, good morning. New theme song, new streaming abilities. I'm super grateful for Jared. Super grateful. No headphones on. Jared, I'm super scared. If you're watching, if you woke up, if whatever, I'm super scared to put my headphones in because I've been having like technical difficulties. And I like to hear it in my head so I can hear me. I can't hear me, but so I can hear things. But nonetheless, let's roll with it. Sans headphones. Yeah, let's go with it. All right. Hey, Mara. All right, let's go. Let's start off. You already see it up. It's the weather today. Right now, it's 52 degrees. It was gorgeous yesterday. I didn't even get to enjoy it until I went to Trader Joe's at like 3. Which is cool. Shout out to Jared Smith of Charleston Weather for this forecast. All right, let me get up closer because this mic will hit me in my face. Good morning, y'all. All right, so shout out to Jared. This is the a high 82 today. Oh, he don't have a thing on Mondays. I guess he does the full week. Yeah, so high, sunny, feeling great outside. 82 degrees. Make sure. Thank you, D. Make sure you support the homie. Jared, support locally sourced content, especially content that keeps us safe and informed. As we try to, this is, my platform is essentially trying to curate information, present news and information. I myself am not a trained journalist, but what I try to do is find news and information that's locally sourced and sourced appropriately. You know how I feel. I'm very critical of the Post and Courier and other state news outlets. However, I'm hoping that more voices emerge, more voices like mine emerge to help us contextualize things and break things down. And that's why I always rely on Charleston Weather, at least for this stream. All right, so I'm gonna close that out. Well, let me Let me get to the headlines, then I'm gonna close it out. All right, so here's when you open up the digital, well, hopefully you're using your library card to access the Post and Courier. Hopefully you are using your library card or any other type of library adjacent apps to access the Post and Courier. This is what you'll find. This is the news release on the digital edition. McMaster, no fight is more worthy of our time and energy. He's of course referring to the appeal to the block on the abortion ban. It's a lot of language, like it's the appeal to the block, and we'll see that in the front page. Let's just do it real quick, and then go back. So this is the front page of the paper. Oh no, this is it. This is Sundays. Well, I got a little treat. I'm working on. I'm working on a treat. All right, hold on. Let's get past the ads. Oh yeah, that NCAA was a banger last night. All right, so this is the front page of today's paper, Post and Courier. I'll go ahead and make it full screen, right? All right, so the front page is, again, just like yesterday, it's about returning to quote unquote normalcy, which is really in essence returning to tourism, being open for business, getting the city back to tourism business. And y'all know I have complicated feelings on that. Shout out to all the people struggling and grinding in food and bev establishments like Harold's Cabin, who've been really to me modeling courage, adaptability, resilience. I don't know. I can't wait for Harold's Cabin to open back up. But shout out to all the other ones who would adhere to the policies and whatnot. And but I am rooting for performers. I'm rooting for artists. I'm rooting for local makers to capitalize off of the tourism industry. Not so much rooting for plantations and other bullshit. You feel me? Fuck a cruise ship. Sorry. All right. So anyway, back to what I was trying to talk about regarding McMaster. So his quote right here, you can see it right here. His quote, "No fight is more worthy of our time and energy. Officials appeal abortion ban block." It's a mouthful, and you got to get your mind wrapped around it. So they're appealing the abortion ban block. So of course, groups like, I want to say ACLU, but they were sued immediately. The state was sued immediately for basically going against Roe versus Wade, right? And banning all abortions, or banning most abortions here in the state of South Carolina, with limited exclusions and all that other bullshit. He says this is no fight. Our governor says no fight is more worthy of our time and energy. We got Medicaid expansion on the table. We've got infrastructure news that we're going to get into today as well. So when he says this, he's being disingenuous. It's some bullshit. Here's some more headlines from today's paper that you will be reading at your public library on a public library's app. Hopefully, South Carolina to get $47 million for vaccine uptake. Grant from CDC hopes to expand minority access. So yeah, there's been a lot about rural outreach for vaccinations. Pretty much everyone's eligible now, right? Let's look at the bottom of the newspaper. Let's see how Post and Courier is framing up the news. What they see is the most important news. Police chief testifies that kneeling on Floyd's neck violated policy. We will get to that real quick on CBS News this morning. I'm going to hop over to YouTube TV and play a little bit of that. All right. Business, Post and Courier parent split into 3 companies. I'm watching this story. My curse is not around. I'm watching this story intently. Cause baby, and I want to invite an actual journalist, or at least I want to talk to a journalist behind the scenes and see whether or not they can come and break it down for us. Cause we will be having more interviews here, y'all. All right. So okay, here local free books available, North Charleston bus stops, yada yada yada. All right, not the yada 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 books. Nah, not the yada 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 books. Yo, shout out to my homie Evelyn for telling me that the cops, Charleston PD, is doing some kind of book drive. Get out of here. You don't need that. Good morning. What you said, the testimony? Oh yeah, D. And I'm seeing the comments a little might be delayed. We're gonna get to that testimony, a little bit of that testimony, D. Absolutely. I should stop saying your name. Yeah, the Baylor Bears won last night. Whew. I ain't gonna lie. I was over the Gonzaga hype, even though Gonzaga's been good fun to watch, but. And then Baylor got his bullshit baggage with their athletic programs, ethics and shit. But they've been trying to do a U-turn for a minute. But yeah, that's the local headlines. I'm gonna go back to the digital edition real quick. Let's see if there's any news that caught my eye. There was some news down here. The morning highlights. We gotta watch our COVID numbers. We know states like Michigan are really dealing with a resurgence in cases. So there's something I'm again looking at that rural outreach is very critical. Remember, we're not just racing to get everyone vaccinated. We're racing to beat these variants, right? So that's important. So yeah, MUSC experts discusses the fear some have of returning to normal as COVID-19 cases drop, right? But we know that there's a surge in certain areas. And I think over here, where was it? I saw a update on COVID numbers. Let's just click on their tracker real quick. I think it was 600 newly confirmed. So this is yeah, so hold on one second. Let me see if they have a snapshot of yesterday's numbers. All these graphs are amazing, but can you give me a snapshot? I want to say it was 600 plus confirmed cases yesterday. I saw it on a little bit of a headline. And so, I mean, it's just still very real here. I've got family coming into town and they're exercising extreme precautions, you know? So anyway, keep an eye on that. Let's transition to other news outside of Post and Courier. There's a lot. I'm going to click through my tabs real quick to just show you where my mind is at right here. So yeah, vaccine passports. Now this is the thing. Vaccine passports are the new masks, right? All right. All my browsers are asleep. We got Nancy Mace making headlines because she knows she got a mic drop moment block. She got a mic drop moment. We got, let me see, I'm gonna have to pause now. We got some interesting news regarding infrastructure, some comedy, some levity. But infrastructure, how the Biden infrastructure plans, how they impact us directly here in South Carolina. We got some Tim Scott doing Tim Scott type shit. Yeah, right? Got some, remember I said, I tweeted this last week that, I'm looking for these public tributes from these local restaurateurs who love soul food, who've gone famous. Huskers famous because of Sean Brock, a white man from Appalachian Mountains, came down here and made soul food a thing. Right. Meanwhile, Martha Lou's, Hannibal's, Nana's, all of these places, and the ones that have gone, that are no longer on the peninsula, all these places created and perfected these dishes that were popularized and mainstreamed by white chefs. And it was, to me, I'm still waiting on this outpouring of tributes to Martha Lou. And it wasn't just Martha Lou. I can't remember the other black woman who passed away during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was in the Post and Courier. I'm gonna research it. If y'all know the name off the top of your head, let me know. But we don't see this outpouring of respect. But of course, a local acquaintance of mine who is, I guess, born and raised, Charleston native. Her name is Amethyst. Amethyst wrote a nice piece, a tribute. Now she's not a restaurateur, but I didn't expect nothing but something great like this from Amethyst. Amethyst is amazing. I don't even want to call her a cook, a chef. I forgot to ask her how would she like to be recognized. But Amethyst is local. She no longer lives here right now. She's still tied here, family here, visits here, all of that. But Amethyst definitely pay homage to Martha Lou's here for the Today Show. This little piece here, it's not a video, it's a nice written piece here. So that's dope. And they use some good, remember how we said about B-roll? Remember what we said about using some good stock images or some good archival pictures of Martha Lou's when it's busting, and this is what you want to see. You want to see what Martha Lou's look like, during its heyday, right? And so shout out to Amethyst, shout out to the Today Show or Today Food for posting this. Make sure you check it out. It's linked in my stories. Not linked. I shared it in my stories on Instagram. But the other part of this was the other part of the tribute that we were looking for. I was again looking for an outpouring here. Didn't really see it. Shout out to the New York Times. Looks like the Sunday New York Times. I don't know if this made it to print. But shout out to the New York Times. They have Kim Severson. She actually worked on the piece that I was included in Let me see real quick. Yeah. So the tourism piece that was published was this last August. Yep, last August. Tariro is the reporter I spoke with here, but here's Kim Servison here. I hope I'm saying her name right. So I don't know if she's embedded here or not, but she writes. She's a fixture. So when I saw her name here, I knew, okay, she knows Charleston. She has a relationship with Charleston. So she wrote a nice piece, again using great images, great archival images. Just worth the read if you can get around the paywall. Yeah, just look, this is what you want to see. How hard is it? WCBD was like, I love them, but they didn't do the best with the pictures. But yeah, able to get some good pictures because the New York Times has been there before. All right, so yeah, shout out to those paying tribute. Have y'all, drop it in the chat if you've seen, drop it in chat if you've seen anybody, any local restaurants do anything to love on this woman. You also, I have here Mashed, Andrew Zimmern? Yeah. Now he mentioned Sean Brock. You know, he mentioned he found Martha Lewis through Sean Brock. You know how white people be Columbus and shit, right? So he mentions that, but I will say at least he used his platform to pay homage to Martha Lewis here. So that was good to see. Still waiting on Husk. We're still waiting on Fig. Still waiting on Pugin. Still waiting on all of them. Still waiting. And if they have been out here paying homage, y'all let me know. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if she was connected to Justine's Kitchen. So this is why I love Twitch, because it's interactive. I'm gonna put, I hate to Google it like this. Let me see. It's the MASH article is screwed. Oh, really? They took Amethyst's words? Okay, that's good to know. I won't. Okay, so yeah, we'll only acknowledge. When I saw Sean Brock, I hit the escape at hatch. I know I'm putting in real whack words, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Charleston. Let me see. I know Justine's closed. Okay, let me see. Look at this. Childhood home. Okay. Cancel. Get out of here. Okay. Damn, this one got past me too. Justine. Oh my God. I was saying Justine's. Yeah. Okay. Everyone was on Twitter last night. I'm gonna reach out to Amethyst. Let me see if Amethyst can come on. Let me text her. I'm gonna ask her for it. That's because I would love to do that. I would love for her to set the record straight. Let me see Amethyst. What? Text her right now. I'm gonna tell her that y'all been telling me about Twitch real quick. My Twitch followers are hyping you up. You should come on. You should stream. And talk about, I'm sorry, I'll just let y'all know what I'm doing. That mashed article. That bullshit, that BS mashed article. We're lifting yours up though. We're lifting your article up. All right, I know she probably sleep, but I just texted her that. Yeah, it would be great. Shout out. Okay, yeah, all I saw was Amethyst's article. Hannah had an essay on Eater. I think that did come up in my search. Okay, thank y'all. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Nicole. All right, let me go back yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get the right names. I don't want to keep y'all know how I am. My memory with names and stuff, I'm horrible. But let me go back real quick. Let me see if Hannah had an Eater. Is this Hannah's article right here? 3 days ago. Where's the byline? No, this is by somebody else. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna find them. Hannah's gonna do Hannah for sure. But yeah, I expected more. I did. And I'm sure there's gonna be some kind of tribute during like wine and food because I put it out there. Watch. I'm sure KJ with Black Food Fridays is gonna do something with that for sure. But it can happen in real time. Wine and food can do that right now. Busy throwing up black squares and dumb shit. All right, and talking about we're canceling our festival because it's in Marion Square with a cow. Shit, y'all was gonna cancel regardless. Regardless. All right, let's hop into the news. I had everything queued up so I can be efficient. So far, I think I've done it. All right, wanted to talk about Martha Luz, wanted to talk about that Amethyst article, wanted to go back to the article that I was featured in because I wanted to flex, and I wanted to show this picture of me in front of the Avery sucking in my stomach. Yeah. All right, no, and then I want to close that out. And let's get, I'm gonna have to mute this. Oh yeah, the up and coming city vibes, dude. Joey Thompson's got another one. Of course, nothing is ever as great as like the first one, but this shit is funny. Except there's a couple things. We're gonna watch this at the end. Real quick. All right, let's keep it South Carolina focused. Let's keep this South Carolina focused in terms of news and whatnot. So I was perusing the news and I saw this coming weeks ago. The South Carolina lawmakers are like, they do not want this vaccine passports. They want to ban it. McMaster's already gone on record saying, not happening. I will say this. This ain't got nothing to do with Republican values or conservative values, anything like that. I'm not going to play the video because, well, actually I can play the video. It's from an Ohio Republican, right? But I think, I don't know, and I guess they couldn't find a South Carolina lawmaker for some reason featured in this story, but they feature South Carolina prominently here because we know McMaster's spoken out about it, Nancy Mace's spoken out about it. You can kind of see it here. Let me blow it up a skosh. All right. So yeah, you see it right here. It says South Carolina Republicans in the House have sent a letter to the Palmetto State. Excuse me. Let me read it again. Let me slow down. South Carolina Republicans in the House have sent a letter to the Palmetto State's governor calling on him in the implementation of vaccine passports in the state. Rep Nancy Mace across the country. But this is good theater, right? I'm not gonna click on the letter, right? So I'm going to just let you hear this conservative Ohio Republican. It might be an ad. Let's see. Good googly. I got
Ohio State Representatives Al Catrona and Mike Loychuk. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
So, Mr. Catrona, it seems like vaccine passports are going to become...
We're not going to play this whole thing.
A bit of a reality, but you don't want them in Ohio. Tell us why.
Absolutely. As a CEO of a large infectious disease medical practice, I understand the importance of medical privacy. And as a legislator, I also seen how governments have gone too far here in the country. And I've experienced that right here in Ohio. And
so their argument is big government, overreach, privacy, yada, yada, yada. Cool. Make sure you check their privacy with all those donations that Trump swindled out of y'all. Make sure you get all your credit. You scan. Make sure they don't have all your financial data when they're stealing donations from you. So that's the argument: is big government and overreach. Let me tell you something. Why I'm against these passports. I think it's going to have an adverse effect on Black and brown people. I've already discussed very, very quickly. Very briefly about how, rural pockets throughout the state have yet to receive their vaccinations. So just imagine those who just don't have access. 60 Minutes, I believe, did a piece on the vaccine tourism and like how at the beginning, how only wealthy and affluent folks were getting access to vaccines. This is largely why I didn't post a picture of myself getting vaccinated, because I was conflicted. I felt like it was becoming like a prestige thing, or it was becoming like an access issue. To me, it was, and then I'm not down anyone who posted pictures of themselves getting the shot, because I know that it also was a celebratory moment for a lot of us who are looking for that resumption of normal life. However, I felt like this it was being used in a way that didn't take into account those who didn't have access to vaccinations, those who didn't have the mobility, like, to get to the second shot. You know what I mean? You can get to the first shot, but maybe the second shot is out of arm's reach. Those who didn't have enough information about the vaccine because of the internet divide in rural pockets. So maybe they relied on misinformation and disinformation, and they were ill-informed. Those who didn't have the technology to log on to access some of these state-sponsored sites. So I'm still thinking about those people, because even after a lot of folks, and we'll see the vaccination numbers increase, not just here locally, but all over the world, there's still going to be people who are poor. We've seen this with the WHO as well, saying that there are so many poorer countries who don't have access to vaccinations. And so with that disparity in existence, I'm opposed to vaccine passports. Now, their bullshit argument here, Republicans are saying, oh, big government overreach, blah, 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 blah. That's some bullshit. Anything that Biden does, Biden could come out with, hey, Republicans get free toilet paper for life tomorrow, and they vote it down, right? So it's just a real wacky hypothetical. But so I get it, right? And we're gonna hop over to, let me see. I wanted to hop over to let me see. Nope.
Imagine knowing that
that's the infrastructure. We're gonna get to that. I wanted to hop over. Let's do this. Yeah. Let's get over to NBC's coverage of the vaccine CBS News coverage of the vaccine passport, to just hear a different spin. Let me look at the comments before I hit this clip from CBS News. You said people cracking me up about. Oh yeah, people cracking me up with their worries. They have not traveled before. Like many countries have. You're right. That's the other thing too. Like, they're politicizing it for bullshit. But you're right. Like, when you go to certain countries, you travel abroad, you have to have certain shots and certain boosters and all the other stuff. So they kill me with this. But I still think this is becoming a class issue. I'm gonna rewind it.
As more and more Americans are getting inoculated against COVID-19, the idea of so-called vaccine passports has emerged as a point of contention. Vaccine passports would be a form of ID to gain entry to certain businesses or cultural events that require patrons to be vaccinated. Proponents of vaccine passports say they could be key to reopening communities. Opponents, though, they raise constitutional and medical privacy issues. An article in the Washington Post says the discussion is already turning into a culture war. And we have the author of that article with us this morning. Molly Roberts is an opinion writer for the Post. Molly, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Molly, you write in your article that, quote, vaccine passports are the new masks. What do you mean by that?
See, that's wild to me.
Well, I mean that masks almost immediately polarized the country. I think you had progressives on one side, you had conservatives on the other side, and it was really totally black and white. There was no gray area. You had the progressives saying this is going to...
Okay, so she's just breaking it down. She's an opinion writer. Miss the Trumpian obstructionist bullshit rhetoric, and really think about, like, well, what will this do? Who will this keep out of venues? Who will this keep out of? And then there's other people too who medically cannot have the vaccine. Not the anti-vaxxers who concoct medical exclusion shit like that. Not that. But there are people who medically cannot have the vaccine. So think about how they might also be left out of certain areas of of re-entering life or resuming some sort of normal life, right? So it's important that we think about that. So it's not just, hey, get your vaccine, click on this app, and bam. You got to think about people who are going to be left behind. People, and again, not anti-vaxxers, but people who really legitimately cannot be vaccinated for whatever reason. So I wanted to hop into that. Let's go back and just, since we're talking about Nancy Mace and how she's weighed in on the vaccine passport issue, let's hop into how Nancy Mace made some other news the other day, day before yesterday. I guess she had her all shit mic drop moment. I guess it maybe in her eyes she did, right? Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace slams MLB for requiring photo ID to pick up tickets while All-Star game from while moving All-Star game from Georgia. Look. First of all, bitch, and those who are new to the stream, yes, I curse and use the B word liberally, and it's an equal opportunity B word. Men and everybody can get that word, not just men and women. Everybody can get that word. But let me tell you something. This is when they start playing around and trivializing this shit, like a baseball game is the same. Like the policy behind picking up a fucking ticket, or the policy behind whenever you can use this for anything you present, your ID for, right? You purchase a ticket. They want to make sure, especially like they want to make sure that you're you, and that they don't give your fucking ticket to someone else. The ID laws, and I want to go back and correct something I said yesterday. I kind of conflated ID laws and what did I do? I did something real clumsy. I conflated like ID laws and the motivation for creating those laws and those prohibitions with getting a license. I think what I was trying to say was that you could register to vote without a license before the ID laws were enacted here in South Carolina. That's exactly what I was trying to say. And I kind of muddled those things yesterday, so please forgive me for that. But what I want to underscore here today is like, this is not the same. These are apples and pineapples. I think everyone is, including the mayor of Georgia, or somebody just not mayor of Georgia. God, Lord, the governor of Georgia. He Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio was like, oh, well, MLB so and so. You have a membership to Augusta, which is where the Masters is played. It's called the Masters because the golf tournament is played on a fucking plantation. And so they were trying to say that, oh, well, MLB has these ties to the Masters and to Augusta. They're going to give up. It's not about purity. It's about this legislation. You can pull out all the contradictions and hypocrisies. Look, ultimately we know that these are corporations. These are companies trying to do a thing publicly, to be seen on the right side of history, right? They're trying to also make sure that they don't face some sort of big economic backlash, right? So I understand that like these corporates aren't motivated by just like these virtuous like belief systems and shit, right? I get that. So I don't expect them to do like a rundown, not these big corporations. I don't expect them to do a rundown and then have everything in line with my sensibilities, with my set of values, right? That's number one. But this right here is not the gotcha moment I think she wanted. I would love to hear what y'all think about this. So basically she's saying, she posted a screenshot. If this will come back. Oh, here it goes. She posted this screenshot. Hey, MLB, this you? Right. And so she's looking at the will call policy, right? Saying that you need a picture ID to pick up. And we already talked about yesterday why the picture ID is so controversial. I didn't even get into those who have perhaps an immigration status that's in flux. I didn't talk about the documentation there and the IDs there. People who've been paying taxes, people who've been working here, raising families here. And we didn't even get into that, right? The immigrant workforce that's here, that South Carolina actively woos and brings over and recruits and secures visas for. We don't talk about that as well, how they might be impacted. But I don't know. I would love to hear how this landed on you. To me, this was just really whack. I think it landed for a lot of people. I think a lot of people like this. It was like, oh, snap moment, but I don't really think so. You're comparing the policy to picking up fucking tickets. First, whatever. I ain't gonna go there. I was gonna say, who's still picking up tickets? I think I did, like, last summer. But it's not a comparison to your fucking rights. To like they just created ID laws because it was a thing, like it was just random. They knew the issue with IDs. They knew the issue with IDs when it came to immigrant populations. They knew the issue with securing photo IDs for those, especially here in the South. They knew what this was going to do and how it was going to impact certain populations. So it's just really funny that Nancy Mace is choosing to weigh in on the Georgia issue, much like Lindsey Graham. You weighing in on the Georgia issue, chick. We got shit right here that you can weigh in on. Weigh in on the commission. Weigh in on Governor McMaster, because I know what she'll say. She'll be pro McMaster. Weigh in on state government taking the reins from local voting commissions. And while I was talking shit about Isaac yesterday, I don't want it to be. I shouldn't have talked over him so much. He was dispensing very useful information about what this will do with the current voter suppression legislation that's currently getting through our local, our statewide legislature. Isaac had some things to offer there that I kind of talked over because I had a shitty experience with him as a shitty manager. But that being said, like I think that's where I'd like to see Nancy Mace fucking weigh in, not on some fucking viral or something just that's trending. And that's Nancy Mace's playbook. Her comms team and those behind her are just making sure that she rides every fucking viral wave. We see Marco Rubio chiming in on Georgia business. You see Lindsey Graham chiming in on Georgia business. You see, Ted Cruz chiming in on Georgia business. All that bullshit. Bitch, take a nap. Sound like a petulant child. This you. I don't want to see my congressperson, regardless if there's an R or a D next to their name. I don't want to see a congressperson from the low country talking shit about some fucking MLB game. Fuck you. You don't even have it, and you don't even have a team here. I'm sorry. I'm mad. Focus on the shit you need to focus on. Golly, it should get me hot. Anyway, she know how to ride a trending topic. I tell you that shit. Let's hop over to trying to figure out what I want to hop over to. Do I want to keep going with Grambo? Yeah, you know what? Let's hop into Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham. I thought y'all would like this little bit of B-roll. This is Fox News Carolina. So is this like a South Carolina, or it's one of those affiliates that Fox affiliates that have a foothold probably in both North Carolina and South Carolina, probably like Rock Hill or upstate adjacent type of. I don't know where Fox News Carolina is, but let's play this magnificent footage of this is what you want to see, right? You want to see a senator roll up his sleeves and visit a Palmetto State Armory. They're so tacky, by the way. And this video is choppy, but it's not me on my internet. Can y'all hear? Is he even? Let me see. This is so priceless. There you go. So let's rewind it. So Lindsey Graham wanted to make sure that the cameras got him, being Grambo, right? Because he's been coming under fire for his asinine comments regarding his AR-15 and gang tornadoes coming, or gang hurricanes. Is that what the comedian called it? Him talking about hurricane. The way y'all responded on IG to posting that joke, everyone said the same thing. I know where he lives. There's no threat of gangs. I know where he lives. My parents live down the street. My uncle lives down the street. I live down the street. There's no threat to violence. There's no reason for him to have a fucking AR-15. Dude, get over yourself. And look, like, come on, dude. And I wanted to use this clip because I know he wanted the cameras to get him looking real masculine and shit with this, what they call this? With this murder dildo. It's like, it's such a play on frail masculinity. Frail, like for real. The gun is a proxy for your penis. Okay, you ready? We got the cameras ready? You're rolling? And then, like, for some reason, we didn't hear a sound with that first shot. And then he looks at the gun like, is this thing on? It's not murderous enough. What's going on? Here we go. Look at this camera guy. I don't know why it's stuttering like this, but I wanted you to see. All right, now let me get the footage that Lindsey probably wanted you to get, not that choppy shit. He probably wanted you to get this one. Like Shout out to the shout out to the damage report on this one. This is you'll see what's his name, John here. He's featured on the
person is one Lindsey Graham, shown here being forced to look at what he has become, and he is going to go right here in the trash. The reason.
Do I need shtick like that, y'all? Do I need a garbage pail here and just throw somebody in there every week, every Friday? Drop it in the comments if you think I should have not a garbage person of the week or something.
And he is garbage is because of who he is. But specifically this week, it's for a stunt he decided to pull. He's mad that like gun control is in theory being talked about, even though we know this is America. The chance that they're going to do anything is basically nothing. But
pretty much, y'all know that, right?
Just in case, he wants to get out and reassure all of his voters that he's a tough man.
I could do a shredder. I definitely could do a shredder. I don't know if I want to print somebody's face out. I don't know, but that's a good one. Maybe I could do like an effect or some sort of like graphic of me shredding some bullshit ass lawmakers.
Man who totally gets their love for guns. He loves it too, and totally in a genuine way. And so here is the video he posted.
I think that would be sustainable though. If I shred it right, then I can like use that paper. I can like pulp it and make it. I can shred a bunch of for trash takes like Nancy Mace's bad faith ID argument. Absolutely, I should shred it. Shred that or shred the Post Courier when they do some fuck shit.
On his Twitter.
Okay, so this footage isn't even better. So like, it just looks like somebody's uncle, having, I mean, I'm gonna say this. He definitely handling it better than me because my ass have been like on the ground. I know I wouldn't be able to handle that kickback. But it still don't look impressive or masculine.
Okay, so we have had multiple mass shootings, pretty much every day, a mass shooting, a couple of extremely high profile mass shootings.
On a serious note, I was really taken aback by like last week how I completely lost sight of how many mass shootings took place, how many shootings took place in the country. So, of course, what happened in Colorado, of course, what happened in Georgia, but there were so many other shootings. And of course, I know the cities that I'm connected to, like Philadelphia, like the Chicago metropolitan area, those areas are under, going through a lot of things right now too with gun violence. It just amazes me that knowing that in the wake of all of that violence, Orange County, in the wake of all that violence, that this lawmaker from this state thinks it's cute to go ahead and live out a fucking fantasy. Yeah, one of the victims was a child. Yeah, I did see that. That was one that caught, like, it was sobering. Jessica, he says, yeah, traumatizing for literal, right? Seriously. And he looks like a big kid.
With AR-15 style weapons. And he concludes that couple of horrific weeks that people are still processing by saying, yeah, they're still really cool. They're just so awesome. Aren't they? They're fun to go and shoot. People should totally be obsessed with these. More people should buy them. They should just be around in homes in case people decide to snap. They should be very easy to buy, and you shouldn't have to wait in case you have a bad day and you decide you just want to shoot some people. He's a senator. He's a senator, right. And that's what he decided to do. Not just encourage no gun control, but to put up a video of how fun he thinks the whole thing is. That's his contribution to American politics. And it's on a small level. It's not as big as some of the stuff that sometimes puts you in the garbage. But
no, but it's infuriating. Again, when we do make national news, it's always for these really it's just corny. Like if you're gonna make a splash, make a fucking splash. I don't know. It's just corny. All right, so I wanted to get to let me see what I wanted to get to. We did the passports issue. Oh yeah, Tim got. This was the better. This was Forbes breaking news. I don't know how this was fucking Forbes breaking news, but this was more footage of Lindsey Graham. So here's here I'm not gonna play this. This is like a whole 30-minute thing. And I don't know. It looks like, but this is Tim Scott at a well, let's click it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's look at the description. So this was posted on April 4th. Tim Scott says, in remarks to Berkeley County Republican Party yesterday, Senator Tim Scott praised the record of President Trump, slammed cancel culture, and slammed the $1.9 trillion relief bill. You're so awesome, Tim. This is Forbes, y'all. So let me blow this up. Look at all the likes it got. Let me give it a dislike, because I'm rad. I'm a rad lib. All right, here we go. Let's I'm a woke supremacist, according to this dude.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Victoria's husband and I,
Hold up. D what? Who running? Run for what? Jamie better sit his ass down.
12 years old. He and I were really good friends, and we talked on the phone and
let me rewind this. Listen to this corny joke.
Always good to be home.
Well, if Jamie runs, it might be because Tim Scott is dropping out, right? Tim Scott said he's not running again, right? Beating it. What is it? B. Manning, you said these politicians don't even feign interest in solving the problems they have, especially not the Republican Party, party of obstruction, right? Especially them. So you think you saw it? Okay. He might be, but he better. It might be because Tim Scott said he wasn't going to run again.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what Tim Scott's like ambitions are. He might be on that Trey Gowdy shit where I just want to write books and talk shit on TV, but he's not charismatic. He's not particularly like interesting, and that whole back-to-back Lethal Weapon shit that him and I'm thinking of him and Trey like back-to-back, like the cover of Lethal Weapon, him and Trey Gowdy on the cover of their next fucking book. That's an old reference, I think. Is Lethal Weapon outdated? It probably is. Yeah, I think like I think those two have got a certain niche and a little recipe, a little formula rather, that they're trying to follow. Because I don't know, he can't run for governor. He can, but why would he go from senator to governor? Like he ain't doing that Sanford shit, right? I don't know. No, Sanford did what? Governor to congressperson. No, Sanford failed up. God damn it. I don't know. It can't be for president. Even though I do think black male conservatives are going to be the next hot flavor. I don't know. I don't know what his political ambitions are. I would love to hear what y'all think.
I remember Mark more than I remember Victoria. Mark's husband and I were a good friend. Victoria's husband and I.
Freudian slip.
I won't say what I was going to say because that was wrong. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It gotta be uncomfortable. I'm talking to black people right now. Let me just talk to black people. Let me talk to black people right now. It's gotta be uncomfortable for this dude to yuck and shuck like this. He gotta want to go home and shower after playing this role. He has to be uncomfortable doing this, making people feel comfortable as the acceptable Negro.
Yes, ma'am. Victoria's husband and I, when I was about 12 years old, he and I were really good friends, and we talked on the phone and
really
talk about other girls and all kinds of cool things. But
you're right. He had to throw that in there to recover. Were you really talking about girls?
So it's nice to be in a place where you have memories with people for decades. I look back and see Jerry Bacon, a former Allstate agent who married way above his head, Miss Billy. How are you seeing that? And
it's just like, let's see. He goes off camera. Let's see.
Bill?
Yes, sir.
I was here last month when you guys were having a little meeting. Frustrated, irritated, and disillusioned are three simple words.
I wonder how much it costs to be at this dinner. I wonder if this was a meeting or was this like a fundraiser? I don't know. To have a high profile senator there, I don't know. Was that a fundraiser? Anyone know about the reporting on that? Let me know. If it was just like a meeting, a regular meeting, they just invited. But we know that Republicans are on the warpath. They're out here campaigning against, talking about whatever. Oh, look at the time. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. All right, there was some other stuff I wanted to get to. The infrastructure bill. I wanted to get to the infrastructure bill, and I wanted to, let me see, Tim Scott. Just show this, right? So part of Tim Scott's whole parade across the state, talking shit about the infrastructure bill, talking shit about the references to Jim Crow. Bruh, like he should feel, for him to carry this water right here, for him to carry this water for the Republican Party, he should be ashamed of himself. I would have just sat this one out. I just would have just enjoyed my fucking chicken dinner at the Berkeley County GOP, meeting. I would have set that shit out. For real. I'm not gonna play this video. I don't think he's in it. Let me see. Hold up. Let's see real quick. I don't think Tim Scott. I've been getting catfished a lot. Oh God. Getting catfished a lot by some of these clips, especially on Fox News. It's a Fox News channel. Yeah. Like they'll have this headline about Nancy Mace or whomever, and then it be some dude from Nebraska talking about Georgia. This is gross. Skip ad. All right, unmute.
Fox News alert. Critics are slamming Major League Baseball and woke companies caving to.
So you see how they're using this word woke over and over again. We don't even use, like, liberals don't even use this shit no more.
Far left Democrats' demands after the MLB said it would move its All-Star game from Atlanta to protest Georgia's new voting law. The CEOs of Coca-Cola and Delta are also condemning the law after liberal activists pressured the companies. Georgia officials estimate that the MLB's decision to move.
And they keep saying the thing, it's going to cost the state. That's the point. That's why the shit is in Denver now.
Tourism revenue. Governor Brian Kemp warning.
It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
This is far from just a Georgia.
I think the GOP is upset because it was effective. That a lot of the criticism was effective and actually swayed the leaders at these corporations.
Problem. Watch.
Georgians and all Americans should know what this decision means.
Look at this one back here. Girl, go ahead. Go home, girl. And you too, bruh. Get out of here.
It means
and they made sure they were up front.
Cancel culture and partisan activists are coming for your business. They're coming for your game.
This whole fear-mongering, like, they just keep doing this. I watched this on the Sunday show. They're coming for you. They're coming for your kids. They're coming for your tax. You're coming for they're raising the price of bread and gas and water. Like, they just gotta chill with this shit. Like, who's coming? You literally sign a law that would make it a crime to give someone refreshments in line. You sign that into law while sitting underneath a portrait of a plantation. What tell me what you arrested a lawmaker for knocking on the door, had one arrested. You ever think about that whole situation? Well, like how the troopers could have just stood in front of her and not let her knock on the door. Like, what was she gonna do? Punch them in their face? No. Anyway, just random.
Or event in your hometown, and they're coming to.
He's so sleepy and listless. So anyway, Tim Scott is talking about this, and it's not Jim Crow. It's definitely Jim Crow. It's not even diet Jim Crow. It's full strength, extra strength Jim Crow. Let me see real quick. I was gonna talk about the infrastructure. Because the Post and Courier has been reporting on it. Post and Courier did this story, and I'm gonna go in and back out. I'm gonna go past 8:30, y'all. Just know that I'm going past 8:30. And if you're new, hey, welcome to Twitch. Hey. Oh, let me switch something. Wait, I'm seeing something. Okay. Never mind. All right. Okay. So yeah, this was reported. So make sure you use your library card to access the story. Use your library card to access this story from the Post and Courier from the 4th. Biden's push for electric vehicles support support could boost SC lawmakers. So Volvo and all those. Biden's push for electric vehicle support could boost SC automakers. Okay, we can read. I know I can. Right. All right. So some of the stories that caught my eye, it wasn't this Forbes story. It wasn't that. It was just how it was one that had particular, I think it was a CNBC a CNBC story. Shit, I already lost it. Let me see. You know what? Let's go just watch this video right here from now. This is the green. No, this is the green. Nah. We don't want to do that. There was a story. Let me see. It was a CNBC story. Hold on real quick, y'all. But anyway, nah. Okay. Check this story out. Use your library card. Check this story out. I think what does feature prominently are the automakers who are here in the state, of course, who actually are, here we go, SC Volvo plant to be at the forefront of automotive electrification trend. So Volvo is going to feature prominently and benefiting from some of this, some of the electric car infrastructure boom, whatnot. I did have this pulled up. Let me see. I had this story right here from WSPA. I had this pulled up because last week I saw a lot of people on Twitter lose their shit around the because this is part of the infrastructure bill, right? So Amtrak released more routes in Southeast proposed in Biden plan. Yo, if y'all was waiting for some real, I would have told y'all to pack a lunch, because this is sad. Like, there's nothing here. There's nothing coming down here. I can't blow it up anymore. But yes, people were disappointed with, like, there's no Acela. There's no line going from Charleston to upstate. You can see that, right? Y'all can at least see that. Like, I'm circling South Carolina. You see like a major line coming toward Charleston, down the low country, down the coast. And then you got a major line going through Richland County in the center of the state. But you have nothing taking you from Charleston to the Midlands, nothing taking you from Charleston to the upstate. It's really sad. It's very sad. As someone who's had to take a train from college, from Jersey, from damn near New York City, all the way down to Charleston, it really is sad. At least I had that, huh? Wasn't that fun though, back in the day? So yeah, I wanted you to train your eyes on the infrastructure bill and think about ways, read about ways this will impact us, no matter what our GOP leadership is saying, is telling you, is lying to you about. So I'm working on something. I talked about this yesterday. This was a big story. This was on the front page of the Sunday Post and Courier. So we know that Faden Santana, this is the gentleman who filmed Officer Michael Slager shooting Walter Scott in the back as he fled. Shooting him and murdering him, killing him. This is the young man. And so I did reach out. I think I can say this much. I did reach out to the local Democratic leadership, because we know this young man has taken a leadership position with the Democratic Party. So we are talking about an interview. I am, and Amethyst texted too. So hopefully we can have some interviews. So I'm excited. Fingers crossed. Haven't reached out directly to the gentleman yet. Doing that today, but hopefully we'll have him here. But let's listen. Again, this is WC. This is WC. Yeah, this is WCIV. This is ABC News 4. This is a local affiliate that is also a Sinclair station. I like to preface any clips that I play with that, just so you know how Sinclair go. We know about those must runs and all of that, right? So let's just play the clip, though. It's pretty straightforward. Here comes an ad. Jeez, Willikers. Let me see. And then, like, Didn't they make it impossible for you to find the mute button? Stop it. I can't see, like, now you can't mute it, right? I could mute it on my desktop, but I don't want to. Okay, it wasn't that bad.
What I have to be
involved in building a closer community. 6 years ago Sunday, Faden Santana watched former North Charleston police officer Michael Slager shooting Walter Scott, a black man, multiple times in the back as he was running away. He also recorded it on his cell phone.
I wouldn't generalize, and say, that the whole institution is that way. But, I think there's a lot of changes and progress, that need to be done. the community.
It's an interesting take. Like I don't expect to with anybody I talk to, I don't expect to be completely like in lockstep with all of their ideas and whatnot. I don't expect people to have abolitionist values and views. I meet more people than not who are very pro-police, including a lot of conservative Black folk. But I am interested, y'all know this, when it comes to running for office, when it comes to rising to prominence, it's important to have a very strong narrative. And I think I'm going to ask him this, and I'll probably let him know that I'm going to ask him this if I do get the chance to speak with him. He has to have a stronger view on police accountability. I just really think that would be that's important to have. But we'll see. And also too, and I'm just being candid, this is something that my former boss, shout out Cliff Albright with Black Voters Matter, something that Cliff brought up when we were talking about, and I'm not going to mention the names of these people who ran for office, but very, very high profile, well-known mothers who had lost children to either police violence or gun violence or some when they ran for office, some of them could not escape the grips of some really by a premium on harmony and a premium, but placing a premium on some sort of racial harmony that doesn't include justice and doesn't include reparative justice, right? And those are just my thoughts. But I actually let him talk for himself.
Community, doesn't have trust that he needs, in the police department.
Santana hopes to help build that trust. Last month, he was elected as second vice chair of the Charleston County Democratic Party. It's not just politics, though. He also hopes to do it through his dream of opening a barbershop. It will be just about a mile from where Scott was shot.
We are planning to do, the first and biggest multicultural shop here in North Charleston. And it's to help race relations, Hispanic and Black community, being together, the white community coming together also, just looking for reparations, solutions.
That's an interesting vision. So a multicultural barbershop. Now I'm from the Northeast. Y'all love when I say that, right? Y'all take a swig of your orange juice every time I say that in the morning. I'm from Jersey. But I say that because again, there are cultural experiences that I had that I don't see here, that I haven't had here. And one of those cultural experiences are multicultural multicultural living, multicultural shopping experiences. I used to get my hair done by Dominicans. The doobie shop is what we used to call them. So this is not unusual. Barbershops, Puerto Rican and Dominican barbershops where brothers would go into, that's not unusual. It'd be great to see that here, if that makes any sense. So I'm not just bringing it up just to talk shit.
When he witnessed the shooting, he says that's a moment he'll always remember, but doesn't want to see history repeat itself.
You don't have to be political. It can be any change, anything, you name it. And you just have to be human.
Santana says the shop should be open in a few weeks. Until then, he'll keep working.
I hope this brother knows how much power he has. I really do. I hope this brother knows how much power he really has.
Changing things up, one cut at a time. Working for you, Eli Brand, ABC News 4.
I thought that was a really good profile. I just want to read the caption a little bit here. It says 6 years ago, yesterday, so at the time of this was published, Faden Santana captured the infamous video of former North Charleston police officer Michael Slager shooting Walter Scott. That video helped lead to the eventual sentencing of Slager to 20 years in prison and widespread use of body cameras by South Carolina police officers. Santana is now working to help mend racial divide in the United States. That's a big... I don't know if I would have. Santana is now working to help mend the racial divide in the U.S. Jeez, can he just do it one block at a time or one cut at a time, like the story said? Jesus Christ, hey, bro, you ain't got that on your shoulder. Don't carry that weight. That's too much. He was elected last month as the second vice chair of the Charleston County Democratic Party. He also is opening a barbershop in North Charleston to help bring people of different ethnic backgrounds together. We are planning to do the first and the biggest multicultural shop here in North Charleston. So we already heard that. Yeah, it's something that's missing here. That'd be dope. All right, I know it's past 8:30. I know. But we're across 3 platforms today, so I'm gonna just take some liberties. So I'm gonna reduce this story, and let me see. Oh, I wanted to get to the Chauvin trial. Shit. I don't think we're gonna make it, homie. I don't think we're gonna make it. Let me see. Let me try. I'm like, what you gonna do, me? So this morning on CBS, this morning, I was able to check out. I wanted to just recap this. I think it's important, especially if we're gonna talk about Slager. We're gonna talk about Slager, and someone who featured so prominently in that case. We can go ahead and talk about the Chauvin trial. And let's back it up if it's gonna start live. Let's see if it starts where.
In terms of rendering aid.
The defense made the point that at the time of Floyd's death, both conscious and unconscious.
They're saying.
Yeah, what a story. All right, Dana, thank you. In our next hour, we'll talk to Jared Butler, one of last night's heroes for Baylor.
Told the jury yesterday that Chauvin violated police standards and training when he held his knee on George Floyd's neck.
So to me, this was huge, right? You don't see police leadership speak out against the cop that's currently mounting a defense in a courtroom. You just don't see it. And also this is the first time I've heard this police chief speak. So I was taken aback by how well he was able to frame, or how well, because my question was, was it this specific hold that wasn't right, or y'all just be choking and yoking people up all the time? Because the use of force issue, to me, y'all know, is near and dear to my heart in terms of there's not enough attention paid to it, and that's why police forces like North Charleston PD, like the Charleston PD, can get away with so much, because we're not looking at what tactics are used, what holds are being employed readily, what the statistics are in terms of how they use of force is, I don't know what the word would be, deployed, what use of force is administered, even to young people's bodies, to the bodies of youth, right? So to me, I had questions around use of force, but I think this chief answered some of my questions. Not pro police at all, not rooting for him. I am happy that he actually chose to speak. I'm happy that he chose to speak out against what we saw on film. I think that's the most he did.
Neck for more than 9 minutes. Jamie Yukas is outside the courthouse with more on this story. Jamie, why are the prosecutors calling these police officers to the stand? Because this is highly unusual to see police testifying against other policemen.
And hopefully this will start something, because this blue wall shit is getting on my fucking nerves.
Yeah, Gail, you're absolutely right. It's rare to have officers testify against former officers on trial. Prosecutors are trying to give the jurors information about police procedures. And according to the police chief, Chauvin should have stopped the neck restraint once Floyd stopped moving. The chief told jurors Chauvin's actions ran against the department's policies and ethics.
To continue to apply that level of force to a person proned out, handcuffed behind their back, that in no way, shape, or form is anything that is by policy, is not part of our training.
Oh my God, why didn't it blur?
For an indefinite period of time.
Inspector Katie Blackwell oversaw the department's training at the time.
So yeah, I don't need to go here. So we had multiple police officers, former colleagues, I'm assuming, of Chauvin testify against him. That is just breathtaking. Maybe that's a poor choice of words given the crime, but that's something that's staggering for me. That's staggering to see. You don't see it, and you don't hear the police chief frame the situation in that way.
Knowing that you're handy.
We're not gonna get into the green infrastructure. That's the one we're gonna omit. I'm gonna end on this because I see the time. So I want to end on this. It's just a little piece of levity, hard turn to something funny. These are this is Joey Thompson and Sean. I forgot his last name already. It's at the end of the video. But this was just a moment of levity. It made me think about Charleston. There was just a couple cringe moments in here. Couple of like, hey, make sure y'all get some black writers. Make sure you get some black people who have a social conscience. Make sure you get like as their videos become more and more popular. Make sure you get some diversity up there helping you with brainstorm some of these, because you can touch on some issues, especially gentrification and homelessness. And you touch on some issues and make it, look like you're punching down. You don't want to do that.
Lies disguise the future, brainwashed through computer, cars constantly polluting.
We're trying to bring some fresh ideas. Are you guys on Spotify?
Lots of opportunities here.
Oh, they got the merch now. That wasn't part of the skit. They got the merch. Let's see what this is. I probably buy this one. I'm from an up and coming city. I'll probably buy that one, ironically.
Opportunities here.
Hi, I'm Joey.
And I'm Sean.
We were recently commissioned to restructure an up-and-coming art city, where our passion is our work.
And creativity is our currency.
That's funny. That made me laugh.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
This is the thing, though, right? They comedians and all that. The material is just like, the fact that they find this shit absurd is funny to me. Cause I don't know. Sometimes you think that white people go through this shit unaffected. Like, oh, tourism is this and that, or gentrification this and that. No, white folk know this shit is real. And like, they know some of this shit is absurd. Most of this shit is absurd. So it's just funny that you ran into these dudes, Justin. I bet you ran into them at a workshop like Coffee Tap Room. Did you really? Did you seek them out? Let me stop.
Lots of opportunities here. So we are actually going to gentrify, renovate these abandoned buildings.
You know they just find people off the street and just talk to? So that's the funny part too.
No, these are art studios.
Really? People work here?
Yeah, they like it like this. It's edgy.
Our city actually hosts a curated indie arts film festival where the pieces are real and anti-establishment.
Graciously sponsored by massive corporations. Thank you, Mary.
That's what made me fucking laugh. How many motherfucking, like, on some indie grit shit, like, and I'm speaking as a former indie grits fellow, like, this part, let me stop talking. This shit made me roll.
A curated indie arts film festival where the pieces are real and anti-establishment.
Graciously sponsored by massive corporations. Thank you, Merrill Lynch.
For this block.
It's true. It's like, oh, we want to do the city or whoever city, Greenville, Charleston, Columbia. Oh, we want to do this arts festival, all these independent artists, and really capture life here in the South and show that this and it's sponsored by Citibank or some bullshit. You feel me? Like, this shit is crazy.
We're gonna have a brewery, a dispensary.
Justin, I'm just busting your chops. I'm sorry. Oh, just busting your chops. I know. Let me know if I play too much. It's like I'm taking my views somewhere else. I'm joking. How you run into them?
A coffee shop.
And for tax write-off purposes.
They probably out everywhere. You in the upstate though, right? Well, don't have to tell your business.
We're gonna put art in all of them. Art breweries,
art dispensaries,
art coffee shops. Lots of
Have y'all seen this though? I've been having this conversation in like organizing circles. Like, art is popping up everywhere. It's this creative placemaking shit, and it gives you this faux sense that that the city's invested in like public art and shit. But nah, I don't know.
Opportunities here. We got to remind people to clean up after their drum circles.
Lots of opportunities here. It's a Subaru. Art City vibe, Subaru. So this is pretty neat. Vandalism is actually art here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who ACAB is, but his graffiti really speaks to me.
Says his work is predominant.
The fact that this is like the little subtle shit that I love. I don't know who ACAB is.
In Portland and Minneapolis.
Turn all of this into art studios.
Art studio.
Yeah, those are already rented out.
Who rented them?
Artists.
Local artists actually showcase their work in
Is there really that much graffiti in the upstate?
this brewery.
I wouldn't want to display my art where I work.
That art piece right there actually represents a tax write-off.
Good doing.
The drum circles, the drum circles.
Business with you. Mobile art studio.
That's a studio.
Yeah.
To embrace the art identity our city has, we actually put up an Urban Outfitters.
Very edgy. Very edgy. Why drink water when you can drink liquid gold?
Oh, you got another cup of coffee?
No, I poured beer in here.
That's the hemp-infused IPA.
Yes, it is. So we're starting the green initiative. 80% of the town's going to be a grow room. And we do sell art in the front.
It's a grower and a shower.
So that's a hotel for tourists. Hotel for tourists.
Oh, hold on.
It's funny.
I thought our economy was based on art.
No, the art brings people here, but we make the money on them staying here and going to the breweries.
Good vibes only.
No, don't do that.
So this is actually Neil Young's wine market.
Nice. I hope he visits one day.
Vegan pizza.
Looks like there aren't going to be a lot of starving artists in this city.
No, this is actually pretty disgusting. I'm not going to finish this.
Yep.
I love coming to paint and sips. I mean, the wine's usually a lot cheaper, and there's always newly divorced women there.
I made this.
Oh, God.
It was more of a paint and chug for me. Oh, it's a Subaru.
Oh, it's the new Forester. You know you're in an art city. When the less successful you look, the more successful you are.
This is the cringe part. This is the cringe part.
Tell me that guy's not homeless.
No, that's actually one of the richest guys in the city.
Oh. Is that Ben or Jerry?
Kendall, you're 2 weeks late on rent.
Sunflower, we know your Etsy page is down, but we need the rent. You can tell we're in an art.
It's just so like specific. It's so fucking, especially about like how we bring people in for the art, but we make our money. We're making them stay here. It's like the Charleston formula, I think.
City, because having multiple partners is progressive.
My kind of city.
I don't think your therapist would agree with that.
She's just pissed off that I broke up with her.
You can tell you're in an art city because being misunderstood is rewarded.
Sometimes you have to be lost in order to be found.
Sounds like the hard kombucha has opened up his fourth eye.
I'm talking about the third eye. You know you're in an art city when meditation is considered exercise.
I did not realize you were doing yoga.
I started after Michelle left me for our yoga instructor.
White guy with dreadlocks, correct?
Yeah, Blake works here. I'm gonna go say hi.
Looking forward to the future.
A white guy with dreadlocks. It's just so subtle. Like it's like every cliche of like a southern up and coming city. White guy with dreadlocks.
Future of our great city, we are really going to hinge on our artists.
And taking advantage of using their work to bring in tourism and tax write-offs. I mean, no one's actually coming here to buy the art. They're coming here.
This made me think of my friend Fletcher. The kernel of truth in this, right?
Here to look at the art and then
go to
party.
Dispensaries, breweries, coffee shops, and if the art is ever not profitable, we are going to pivot to being
Russell
a cannabis
Herman.
rundown.
Anyway, you want to go to paint and sip? I need a drink.
Would you like to buy this?
And they solicit the art to some young girls who say, no, we're not gonna. It was just funny. It was funny, but I appreciate. Okay, so this is it. We're gonna land the plane here. Y'all, thank you for rocking with me today. Just super excited. Again, I want to say thank you to John Shields. Thank you to Jared, DJ Moldy Brain, my in-house producer. Thank you so much for just, we're across now. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we don't have that many eyes on, but we have. It's getting there, and I'm seeing the numbers, especially today, stay consistently in the double digits. To me, that's a fucking victory. If it's 15 or so, I'm super happy and excited, and more is coming, and I'm super excited. This is just, this is where I wanted to be. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to end it there. It went about 30 minutes over, just under 30 minutes over, but please continue to share. Please continue to just shout this out or seek out this content. I'm really super excited about what's to come, interviews and other content, and not just being in my apartment and doing Twitch. All of that is being planned right now. So, just want to give this city, this area, a different alternative, a new alternative, right? In terms of, how you get your news or information to start your day and shit like that. And just looking at things a little differently, like looking at the city a little differently. Highlighting voices that you don't really hear from enough, artists that you don't really hear from enough, all that jazz, and breaking down some of the national noise and distilling it. Oh, one thing I want to leave you with, real quick. As we talked about voter suppression more yesterday and its roots and history here, and I share with you again my parents' personal story and how that can factor into some of these laws. Check out Nick Butler. Y'all know Nick, historian with the rad ponytail at the library. Nick is super dope. I love his Charleston Time Machine podcast. Check it out. It's on, like, you're using your library card anyway to read your local news, right? You're not paying for a paper, right? We're not doing that, right? Only one paying for a paper is me, right? So as you're perusing papers and reading local and national news with your library card, I want you to go ahead and seek out the Charleston Time Machine podcast. And this posted back in, I want to say October 2020. But check this out. Yeah, October 23rd, 2020. Check out this, The Rise of Voter Suppression in South Carolina. I'll probably share it again on other platforms, but it specifically is this timeline between 1865 and 1896. And just let me know if you hear anything that sounds reminiscent, sounds similar, anything, because, yeah, it's real. So check that out. Make sure you just do your research on the history of voter suppression and why we do liken it to Jim Crow, Tim Scott. There's a reason. All right. Y'all take care. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Thanks for rocking with me. And you'll hear the theme song again, the new theme song. I'm so excited. All right. Bye.